Deuteronomy 20. I was kind of hoping we would learn more about the sanctuary cities for the oops, I did a murder people, but no, we are moving right along to holy war. I assume at some point we'll circle back to proving how this is a religion of peace, but that day is not today. When you go to war against your enemies and see horses and chariots and an army greater than yours, do not be afraid of them, because the Lord your God, who brought you up out of Egypt, will be with you. When you are about to go into battle, the priest shall come forward and address the army. He shall say, "Hear, Israel, today you are going into battle against your enemies. Do not be faint-hearted or afraid. Do not panic or be terrified by them. For the Lord your God is the one who goes with you to fight for you against your enemies to give you victory." Why are the Israelites going to war at all at this point? They made it to a new land. If other tribes can just invade it, it doesn't sound like an ideal place to be. They were honestly so much better off living in Egypt as slaves, since other people were fighting wars on their behalf. But okay, God's gonna take care of them by making sure they get a pep talk from a priest first. Because if there's one thing we know about priests, is that they always know how to keep things exciting. They're gonna win these wars because the priest is gonna bore everyone until they all fall asleep, and the other side's just gonna assume they're already dead and walk away. The officers shall say to the army, "Has anyone built a new house and not yet begun to live in it? Let him go home, or he may die in battle and someone else may begin to live in it. Has anyone planted a vineyard and not begun to enjoy it? Let him go home, or he may die in battle and someone else enjoy it. Has anyone become pledged to a woman and not married her? Let him go home, or he may die in battle and someone else marry her." Then the officers shall add, "Is anyone afraid or faint-hearted? Let him go home so that his fellow soldiers will not become disheartened too." When the officers have finished speaking to the army, they shall appoint commanders over it. So the only people who are going to fight in the war are wealthy alpha males with established houses and vineyards and wives. You know what? Good. It's about time those people fought the wars. I love that one of the exemptions for fighting in war is, "But I haven't had a chance to get drunk yet." And let's say some of these guys do fight even though they're engaged but not married. We're supposed to believe he will die and another dude will marry the wife. Well, what's the wife's obligation here? She doesn't seem too bothered by her spouse's death. And also, we were just told God is on their side. Why would they die? What sort of ally is God? Also, I am not a military expert here, but I feel like appointing commanders should have happened way before we got to this point. It's weird that that's the last thing on this checklist. When you march up to attack a city, make its people an offer of peace. If they accept and open their gates, all the people in it shall be subject to forced labor and shall work for you. If they refuse to make peace and they engage you in battle, lay siege to that city. When the Lord your God delivers it into your hand, put to the sword all the men in it. As for the women, the children, the livestock, and everything else in the city, you may take these as plunder for yourselves, and you may use the plunder the Lord your God gives you from your enemies. This is how you are to treat all the cities that are at a distance from you and do not belong to the nations nearby. Commit war crimes, says God. Sign a peace treaty with the other side, and when you do, they will all become your slaves. Was that in the contract? I feel like the other side would not have signed the peace treaty if slavery was part of the package. It sounds like the Israelites can just walk into any place they want, and they're gonna come out of it with either slaves or women. Or slave women. It's just a matter of what they're into that week. However, in the cities of the nations the Lord your God is giving you as an inheritance, Do not leave alive anything that breathes. Completely destroy them. The Hittites, Amorites, Canaanites, Perizzites, Hivites, and Jebusites, as the Lord your God has commanded you. Otherwise, they will teach you to follow all the detestable things they do in worshiping their gods, and you will sin against the Lord your God. Murder everything in the cities I give you, says God. Here's your hit list. If you don't slaughter all the people there, they will make you do horrible things like pray to gods who aren't into graphic violence. Can't have that. So please, stab them for me so we can have our bastions of morality. By the way, this is a huge escalation from Numbers 33. Back then, the Israelites were told to drive the Canaanites out of the land and just take all their stuff. Now, God is telling them to literally completely destroy them. When you lay siege to a city for a long time, fighting against it to capture it, do not destroy its trees by putting an axe to them, because you can eat their fruit. Do not cut them down. Are the trees people that you should besiege them? However, you may cut down trees that you know are not fruit trees, and use them to build siege works until the city at war with you falls. See? God is a loving God. When the Israelites are in the middle of beheading everyone, they better not do something truly horrible like chop down an apple tree. God would be so angry at them if they hurt fruit in the middle of their genocide. I'm glad we have all the priorities all straightened out here. Spare the trees, spare the soldiers who are finally adulting for the first time. And when you're off looting and pillaging and stabbing people, you get slaves and women and children. But just make sure to use non-fruit bearing trees for your tree houses. I don't know what kind of pep talk the priest gave before all these wars, but it seems pretty damn intense.